Said, whoa, Black Mountain. Said, whoa, Black Mountain. Whoa, Black Mountain. Razor and my gun. Whoa, Black Mountain, razor and my gun. Whoa, Black Mountain, razor and my gun. Gonna cut her, she stands here. Gonna shoot her, she runs. Whoa, Black Mountain, gonna spit in your face. Whoa, Black Mountain, gonna spit in your face. Mama drinking whiskey, baby practicing bass.
Or hold it down, double bass. Very trace percussion.
Whoa, Black Mountain, not a man in jail. Whoa, Black Mountain, not a man in jail. Just finds me guilty to grant him bail. Whoa, Black Mountain, means going town. Whoa, Black Mountain, sweetest girl in town. She met a sweet black man, then she threw me down. Whoa, Black Mountain. Said, whoa, Black Mountain. Said, whoa, Black Mountain. Said, whoa, Black Mountain. Whoa, Black Mountain. I'm practicing bass. Whoa, Black Mountain. Said, whoa, Black Mountain. Said, whoa, Black Mountain. Said, whoa, Black Mountain. Whoa, Black Mountain. Razor and my gun. Whoa, Black Mountain. I said, whoa, Black Mountain. I said, whoa, Black Mountain. I said, whoa, Black Mountain. Whoa, Black Mountain. Baby practicing bass.
Thank you very much. Welcome to a history of British blues, and so that first song was a song by Nick Drake. Anyone know who Nick Drake is around here? Oh yeah, very good. A few people. So so basically, I'll be throwing some little names if you want to throw them into your Google machine. Don't do it now, but at the end of the show. And so Nick Drake was, so we're going to do the first half of basically the British coffee house blues, so people like Nick Drake and John Martin, people like that. So, and then the second half will be more the Claptons and people like that. So, so Nick Drake was basically a singer-songwriter back in the late 60s, early 70s, and he was, it was sort of a troubled soul, as most musicians are. This present company accepted, of course. So he wrote basically 3 main albums, 5 Leaves Left, Bridal Later, and Pink Moon. And by the time he got to the 3rd album, he basically sort of, it's kind of, as I said, a troubled soul. And he basically released his last album by basically putting it underneath the desk of the record company secretary, and they didn't actually find it out until they had to clean out of his desk, and they thought, what the hell's this? And then they put it on. It was Nick Drake's 3rd album, and so by that stage he'd gone back home to his house in Tamworth in Arden, and actually did a pilgrimage to his house and grave down in just outside Birmingham. And it was an amazing afternoon. The people who actually lived there just knew him as the Drake family. Basically, they didn't really know what he was famous for or anything like that. And so we had this sort of little kind of pilgrimage to his gravesite. But yeah, beautiful songs. And that was his cover of Bessie Smith, which is off the album Family Tree, which he did a little sort of album of sort of people that he got influenced by, people like Bert Jansch and John Renbourn and David Graham and people like that. So I'm going to play your next song. Is a little song by John Martin. Anyone who John Martin is, apart from the shop. Yeah. So John Martin he was an interesting character as well. He's sort of he was a Glaswegian singer-songwriter, sort of half musician, half thug. And they used to call him Grace and Danger because he basically had, like, on one minute he'd be trying to, nut you, and on the other side he'd be writing a nice poem about it as well. So it's sort of if you ever see him live in concert, he's sort of it's a struggle between the two, but his song's absolutely beautiful. So, and his famous album was Solid Air. So I'm going to do a song off one of his early albums. Actually, went to see John Martin in concert in Leeds as well on his last tour. He basically he had one leg. I think he had diabetes or something, but he blamed it on his SG. He said he was basically the guitar was too heavy and he'd been carrying it for years. But I think it's probably more the alcohol and that would have done it basically. And he came out onto the stage in this big white gown with a walking staff. He looked like Gandalf. And I thought this could go either way basically. Like, it's going to be the greatest concert of my life, or it's going to be pretty crazy. So anyway, he sort of sat down with his SG and he asked the audience for a doobie. Got one passed up, had a smoke, put it on this guitar, and then it was a Solid Air all over again. So it was absolutely beautiful. But yeah, this is a little song called Jelly Roll Baker. And if you ever want to know what jelly roll is, blues is full of euphemisms. So a jelly roll basically is if you think of a crawling king snake, well, jelly roll is the opposite of that. So. Jelly roll baker,
your jelly roll? Only man making jelly, keep it in your soul. Can I place an order? 3 weeks ahead, I'd rather have your jelly in my home making breakfast, jelly roll baker. What about your jelly roll? Only man making jelly, keep it in your soul. Take out my women, sure keep them all. And I got a secret you can't catch on to it all, Mr. Jelly Roll Baker. What about your jelly roll? Only man making jelly, keep it in your soul. Can't place an order, 3 weeks ahead, I'd rather have your jelly in my home making breakfast, Jelly Roll Baker. What about your jelly roll? Only man making jelly, keep it in your soul. Some jelly roll, Corey. Take out my women, sure keep them all. I got a secret you can't catch on to it all, Mr. Jelly Roll Baker. What about your jelly roll? Only man making jelly, keep it in your soul. Can I place an order? 3 weeks ahead, I'd rather have your jelly in my home making bread, Jelly Roll Baker. What about your jelly roll? Only man making jelly, keep it in your soul. The only man making jelly, keep it in your soul. Only man making jelly, keep it in your soul. Thank you. All right. I'm going to play you a little song by Jackson C. Frank. Anyone know who Jackson C. Frank is? This would be even less. No one else. One year I was going to actually do an actual fringe show on Jackson C. Frank, and they had the same answer as I did just then. I thought, no, a little bit risky. No one knows who he is. So the reason why he makes onto the list of the British blues, he's actually an American songwriter, but he came over to London. He basically is a classic tragic singer-songwriter story. Basically, when he was in primary school, there's a boiler blew up, and it basically blew up half his class, and he suffered massive scarring and stuff like that. And so he basically got a payout, and he used his money to come over to England. So he basically hit the American folk scene, and there was a club called they call it Les Cousins. It was actually called Les Cousins. But they call it Les Cousins because it's British. And I actually Googled Les Cousins, or Les Cousins, to work out what it is, and it's actually the Cousins, which who knew? But basically, there was a little club in London, and a lot of the players like Bert Jansch and John Renbon and David Graham and all the great players congregated in to play blues, and he came over and just influenced a lot of players basically with his style. And Paul Simon did his album as well, produced it. So he was sort of tipped for big things, and then never really eventuated, and he went back. And everyone covered this particular song I'm about to play, but he went back and just sort of disappeared into obscurity. So someone went and found him later on, and he was sort of homeless, and they sort of tried to revive his career, but basically by that stage it was kind of gone. But there's a beautiful album, if you don't know it, and you can Google it. It's called Jackson C. Frank. It's just self-titled, but this is a little song called Blues Runs the Game. And it's a beautiful tune. So.
Catch a boat to England, baby, maybe to Spain. Wherever I have gone, wherever I've been and gone, wherever I have gone, the blues run the game. Send out for whiskey, baby, send out for gin. Me on room service, babe. Me on room service, babe. Me on room service, I live in the life of sin. When I'm not drinking, baby, where am I mind? And I ain't drinking, honey. And I ain't drinking, mama. I ain't drinking, you know. If I be crying. Maybe tomorrow, baby, someplace down the line, will be much older. So much older, mama. Be much older. Just all that crying. Send out for whiskey, baby. 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 Maybe tomorrow, baby, someplace down the line, be much older, so much older, mama. Be much older, just all I'm trying. Living is a gamble, baby, loving's much the same. River I have played, river I've thrown them dice, river I have played the blues, run the game. Send out for whiskey, baby. 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 And I'm not drinking, 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 mama. And I'm not drinking, mama. And I'm not drinking, baby. And I'm not drinking, Catch a boat to England, baby. 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 Maybe to Spain. Wherever I have gone, wherever I've been and gone, wherever I have gone. Thank you. Okay, we're going to play a little play tune by Davy Graham. I'll ask the eternal question here. Anyone heard of Davy Graham? Oh, there you go. What? You win the prize. Awesome. So Davy Graham is basically he was kind of the grandfather of folk blues, British folk blues, and invented a tuning called Dadgad. And so basically, anyone know what Dadgad is? You probably know what Dadgad is. Yeah, Cool. This is actually surprising, actually, because most of our audience always knows. Well, the two questions I get asked at the end of a gig is what tuning are you using and what string gauge do you use, and that's all we get. So our audience is mainly bearded men, as you can tell. So normally they say, yeah, we know what DADGAD is, but this is actually quite rare, so it's nice. You're in the minority this time, so it's good. So but basically what DADGAD is, it's an alternate tuning. When we do a song later on in the second set, I'll tune the guitar to a chord, and basically what David Graham did was basically travelled around from the UK. He was a London sort of jazz blues guitarist, and went to Morocco and ended up looking up all these alternate tunings, and he came back with this tuning, and it kind of emulated Celtic pipes, basically. That was the whole idea of it. So, but this is a little song he did by Reverend Gary Davis, and it's a kind of a little folk blues tune. It's a nice little sing along as well. Sometimes we play this tune, and if there's kids in the audience, they actually start singing it. And I often wonder, it's called Cocaine. I always wonder if they actually, when they go to the daycare centre the next day, I'm sure if social services are called, but basically, and actually included in this song is a little bit of jazz, actually, as well. We'll talk about that later on. This is a little turnaround.
Cocaine used to be in cough syrup.
Yeah, it's everything, wasn't it?
It used to be, I remember studying pharmaceuticals, and they had a picture of the Pope on this cough medicine that had cocaine in it. Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, so yeah, I have no problem with it. I wouldn't call authorities.
The great song, the great thing is one of the lines in there as well, basically, is that you got a nickel, I got a dime. So those are the days. It's a little bit more expensive nowadays, I think so. And they're going to play a little song called Cocaine. It's a jazz chord as well. It's the only one I get to do, so that's why I would always have to point it out. So. Here comes my mama, dressed in black. Please, please, mama, I just want you back. Cocaine running round my brain, and I got a mama all dressed in white. Come home, baby, won't you stay the night? Cocaine running round my brain. I got a mama all dressed in red. Come home, baby, won't you come back to bed? Cocaine running round my brain. Here comes my baby all dressed in blue. Come home, mama, I know what to do. Cocaine running round my brain. Tell me some cocaine and Corey. I got a nickel, you got a dime. You buy the coke and I buy the way. Cocaine running round my brain. Cocaine's for horses, not for men. It's gonna kill you, baby, but I won't say when. Cocaine running round my brain. Come, baby, please come quick. This old cocaine is making me sick. Cocaine running round my brain. Well, I got a woman all dressed in green. Well, oh, mama, I know what you've seen. Cocaine running round my brain. And here comes my baby all dressed in gray. Come on, mama, let's go back someday. Cocaine running round my brain. Come, baby, please come quick. And this old cocaine's making me sick. Cocaine running round my brain. Sweet cocaine running round my brain. Your cocaine running round my brain. Thank you. All right. So, oddly enough, as I drive a combi, and looking the way I do, I often get asked for deals in various substances, and actually, which I get used to. Usually at traffic lights, oddly enough, and actually, someone asked me if I actually had cocaine to sell, and I thought, well, I'm driving a combi. I think that gives it away. Though. I don't be selling that. I think, as I was a very unsuccessful drug dealer, or it's a shell and there's like a Porsche inside or something like that that's driving the chassis. We're going to play a little tune and then we're going to have a short break as to grab a beer because it's British blues after all. And before we do that though, it's my mum's birthday today over in the corner there, so please give her a round of applause. Oh, very nice. We might have a little sing-along after. So we're going to play this tune. My mum's from Salford, so just check your tyres when you get outside and make sure they're still there. No, Manchester's good. That's very good, yeah. Salford's not Manchester, though, is it? They make that distinction, I think, technically. Yeah. My dad's from Manchester, so he's from, what are you from? Where you're Blakely, I think Blakely is? Yeah. And my mum's from Higher Broughton. She makes that distinction between Higher and Lower Broughton. Apparently, they look down on the Lower Broughton people, apparently. So. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Whereabouts are you from? Leicester. Oh, nice. Very good. I've been there, yeah. No, you're right. Okay, so we're gonna play a little John Mayall tune. And the reason why we can't do a British blues without John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. In fact, we did a History of American Folk for the past couple of nights, and we didn't include Bob Dylan. And someone yelled out Judas, and I thought that was quite appropriate. Yeah, no, we can't do a British blues without John Mayall. And I actually saw John Mayall recently, well, a couple of years ago now. And I thought I'd take my guitars down there to get them signed because I was a massive fan of John Mayall. And I thought, no, I would never see him. He would be back on the tour bus, and then he'll go, and that'd be it, type thing. But he was on the signing table for about 2 hours, just saying hello to people. So I could have got my whole guitar collection signed by him. But yeah, and great. And he was probably one of my first influences in blues. There's an album called Blues Alone. You would have heard that one, I presume. Yeah. you like that one? Yeah, good, excellent. Yeah, so he basically does all the instruments himself, but it's absolutely amazing album. That was it was a big turning point, if I want to use a really crappy pun. But that's another album by John Mayall, by the way, just in case. Just to explain my crappy puns. They're that bad. But basically, that was such an influential album on me, and it just sort of basically showed that you didn't have to be a 1930s sharecropper to actually play the blues. That was sort of the thing, and the British blues, they latched on to the blues scene. A lot of the sort of working class British people, because they could sort of see the same sort of similar struggle, obviously not the same struggle as the African Americans had, but there were sort of similarities in sort of the poverty element and things like that. So, but I'll tell you a bit more about that in the second half as well. So this is a little John Mayall tune, a little song called No More Tears. He actually lived in a tree house in Salford, actually, John Mayall, oddly enough. Yeah, he was an interesting character. Someone stole in his house.
Telephone got you back to me. Well, don't you weep and moan, just get back from misery. You ain't gonna shed no more tears no more. It was a yellow moon shining down lonely street. Don't you weep and moan, just get back from misery. Gonna shed no more tears no more. It was a crazy night, dancing round by the fire. Gonna be right, telling you I wouldn't lie. You ain't gonna shed no more tears no more.
Very trees percussion. Trees. Corey Horde there. You won't hear bass playing that ever. One of the greatest bass players we've ever produced, actually. One of the nicest guys as well, so make sure you have a chat with him afterwards. So we're going to have a little short break after this to go grab a pint, and we'll come back and do part 2.
Was the telephone brought you back to me? Well, don't you weep and moan, just about the misery. You ain't gonna shed no more tears no more. Was the yellow moon shining down Lonely Street, and I walk alone looking for a place to meet. You ain't gonna shed no more tears no more. You ain't gonna shed no more tears no more. You ain't gonna shed no more tears no more.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We'll be back. We'll have a little short break. So grab yourself a beer. We'll be back in about 5-10 minutes. So.